Okay, welcome back everyone to the Nerdy Playbook. We're back on another Tuesday, snowy for many people, for Blades of Bahamut. But before we begin, we got Gravity that has an announcement.
As you guys may know, I'm the official artist for this campaign, but I also do my own art on the side. This weekend on Saturday, I will actually be at New Jersey WildCon. I don't actually remember the city of it, but I will be there. You're welcome to come check out my booth. I believe I am booth 74 by the ballroom. It's just Saturday. It's, I believe, mostly like Star Wars and superhero stuff, but hey, if you want some D&D stuff, just come check me out. I do have like prints for all the characters in the show. You're welcome to come check it out. I have a lot of keychains, stuff like that. But yeah, maybe I'll see you there.
Cool.
Wildwood Convention Center, located on the boardwalk in Wildwood, New Jersey.
Yes. Thank you.
You can't Google and announce at the same time. It doesn't work well.
We are currently missing a player. She should be in shortly, but we will get things rolling. So let's go into the intro. All right. So, with the team making their way to Nelethyr, and with several days out, give or take, depending on weather, 2 to 3 days, people reconvened. A husband and wife rekindled the romance long missed.
Yeah, it sure did.
And with the unfortunate circumstances of immediately having to leave, the shuttle fell due to silk protection over his new wife. With a lot of things going on the ship, having a long rest, some people decide to do the things next morning. But where we're going to leave off is Dahlia left by herself, commando style, in the room. Immediately,
it's her room. She's sleeping.
As she reacts pretty quickly to seeing a large wood elf immediately try to strike at her, she rolls over to try to dodge as she sees a visage of a very pissed off Gladlin. And that's where we left off. So,
did he get me, or did I dodge out?
You dodged it. You had a good saving throw. So your dexterity saving throw was allowing you to dodge it. So basically, it was the choice of whether or not he was going to be able to touch you or if you were able to roll out of it. I mean, you're fully nude while you're doing it, but you rolled out of it. So you're just kind of like
damn good doing it too. So,
so as you see, at first you know this is Gladlin, but he looks different. altered somehow. He naturally looks maybe just not even pissed off in this specific situation, but it looks like he's just been having a rough several months. You also see that he's wearing a new headdress. Has what looks like actual big, huge elk antlers on top, but compared to his normal visage of wrappings of rose vines around him, they now are more like thorns wrapped around his horns and his body, showing off a darker visage of what you're used to seeing of him instead of his quirky self that he usually is. As he merely stands in front of you, 6'6", standing tall, looking at you and yelling, "The fuck did you do?" As he immediately just stands there and waits for you to respond.
Well, this is not a dream. She's going to, like, side crawl off the bed, like, this way, and reach for a robe, first off. Second off, look him up and down and just be like, "Oh, nice of you to acknowledge me after 10 fucking years." She starts reaching for this robe to put on. Could you at least let me get dressed first?
He just kind of like looks away and turns his hand towards you. Very well. Have your minute.
You know people still knock these days, right? It's like putting it on. Just... the fuck are you doing here?
Are you done? Are you prepared? Are you situated? Are you ready?
Couldn't you just, like, pop into my head and wake me up and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna show up in 5 minutes, put some clothes on"?
As he turns himself back over to you. With a situation so dire, the proper greetings were not necessary. I registered...
You're the one to talk about proper greetings, mister. I haven't talked to you in 10 years and I just, fucked off.
I had no reason to. You... did not need me. And, let's just say there are reasons for my path not to be crossing yours. But, that being said...
Oh. She's gonna cut him off and be like, "Oh, so you have no reason to talk to me? Maybe I have no reason to talk to you right now." And she's gonna start walking towards the door, even though she's in a robe. She's trying to make a point.
Alright, dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit, I didn't get my dice out.
Okay.
Right, now I'll just roll it on here real quick. 14?
Natural 20.
Oh.
So he immediately comes in, he immediately tries to take his... like, if you're walking to the door, he's immediately going to pick you up and slam you as he's holding your face against the door. Who is out on the main deck?
What time of morning is this?
It's probably about I think, where did I leave it at? 11?
I'm
11 a.m.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, for anybody who's on the main deck, what's
first, so I should be up.
Okay, if you're on the main deck, if your passive perception...
My passive is 10.
No, you do not hear it.
13.
13.
Hades is doing push-ups in his bunk.
Really? Okay.
He's starting every morning now with push-ups.
Okay.
I love it. That's my boy.
That's my boy.
Doing some curls with his books. One.
After the window jump leg grab, he's like, "I need to start working out."
I got you, buddy.
You at this moment, nobody hears this outside of the actual room itself. As he just kind of pins you up, he's not putting any pain into you, but he's doing enough pressure to your neck to at least have you held there, and he just kind of lifts you up as high as he can put you. Since the ceiling isn't that high, it's probably like 10 feet, so not too high. He just looks. "No. You listen. Don't go anywhere. Listen. You, whatever the fuck happened here, just changed fate. Again.
You're gonna have to be a lot more specific, she says.
As he just looks at you with even more pissed off face, are you implying this is more than once?
I'm just saying we did a lot of things in the last 12 hours.
Okay. Dolly, give me evens or odds.
Evens.
Okay. He lets go a little bit, but he still has you where he can at least keep you where he needs you, where he's still holding you, but he's not pressing up against you. So how many times, let's say in the past month, has, in your knowledge, manipulation of fate occurred?
I don't know. We went to the Shadowfell and some weird shit happened, but like, there's a lot to unpack here. All right, my dead mother is not dead anymore, and there's my grandfather is on some weird mission to rule the world or something like. Oh, why do I owe you an explanation? I don't feel like I owe you an explanation. You're the god of fate. You're supposed to figure this out yourself.
Take it back 1 second. Your mother's back? Your dead mother?
No.
Deception check, please.
You know, my deception's not that bad. It's a 13.
13. Okay. All right, jokes aside, anything else?
Internally. I am failing to understand what's important here specifically. Is like the world on fire? If I go out there, is there like flames in the air and stuff or something? Isn't your whole job to be like controlling fate?
I don't control fate. If I controlled fate, none of you would have your own destinies. But
so
I make sure that when fate has been altered compared to its normal, he's going to label it as a web, to its normal web, and it breaks off to another strand, I get alerted in a certain way. It doesn't happen quite often, but I probably had about 10 instances since I have taken up my current position where this happened. They've been centered on you 3 times.
Well, sorry, I'm popular. I'm not doing anything, so I'm not sure what you want me to do.
Give me a persuasion check that you can convince them that it's not you that's doing this.
It's not, though, isn't it? I don't know.
No, you're not the one who's doing it. No, he believes it's you.
That was a 23.
23.
Expertise, baby.
He puts you down. All right. Well, whatever just happened in the past 48 hours, give or take, was on this vessel, or at least a vessel close to it.
So what exactly happened? I can't really help you if you don't tell me.
As he puts you down, he starts staying by the door, so he kind of like leans up against like the joint of the door, so you can't open it up, but he just kind of like leans back. Someone was able to glimpse into a time that is not supposed to be seen, and due to that they've been able to see a fate that should not be shown. What it was on this ship, most likely, unless my powers have been a little off, which I'll be honest,
it could be off.
It's been a little off. As you just kind of like see him kind of like start to like kind of like go up against his head. It's like, no, it can't be right. No, it was here. No, she's telling the truth. No, she's lying. No, she hasn't any reason to lie before. Don't trust her. No, it's fine.
Yeah, I definitely have no reason to lie to you.
As you see that his thorns are turning to roses again, his oak headdress starts to disappear. As he starts to look like the Rick Aladdin again.
So, theoretically, this is a problem because...
The fact that you... Oh no. Is that someone being added or is that someone leaving? I can't tell.
Amanda joining.
Oh, okay, cool. Alright, let me research that. Everyone has a certain destiny to them, and it can be altered slightly. There's only certain circumstances that a mortal can take that allows them to veer off this path so greatly. And that's what I tried to prevent. Whatever has happened recently allowed someone to peer so far into fate that they are and have, even if they don't know it, have literally changed it.
Okay, so, I mean, is that really a bad thing? I mean, say it was something, theoretically, really bad, and they were able to avoid making it happen. That's a win, I feel like.
Fate is not something to be played with so lightly. The intricacies of it aren't just so easily that you know someone's going to die and you can bring them back. It is not so simple that an event is going to happen of such tragic that is so tragic that you can easily just change the future to avoid it. Exchange has to be made, a balance. Someone might have been saved, but someone of equal value to that specific event must be taken in process. You specifically should know so well. You know your brother brought you back a long time ago. And yes, you're the one who drew your mother's blood, but that was also the way the fate balancing it. One had to be sacrificed for the other. If you didn't slay her, then another event would have happened. Maybe your father would have been taken, maybe your brother would have been taken. But one life cannot be spared just for the sake of it being spared. If someone manipulated fate, even if it hasn't happened yet where they know what the solution is, it is still affecting someone else in the long term.
So, would it be rewriting destiny if someone theoretically died and were brought back, maybe not in the moment, but just like some time later? Like years, maybe? Like, it's been long enough. That wouldn't... Because, like, they died, right? So the life has been taken, and then say, like, because, resurrection spells and then bringing people back from the dead, that's a thing. That's something I can do. So, if it's been long enough, is fate, like, content with them coming back into play?
I'd say because you succeeded in your persuasion check, or your deception check earlier, he doesn't understand what you're implying. He'll be like, well, resurrection spells are available to mortals like yourself. If someone died under a natural basis, resurrection does not affect fate. But if fate decided for them to die, they have to stay dead.
How do we, like, determine? Is there, like, a check mark or something? Like, is there a scroll hidden in some dungeon somewhere that, like, tells us that?
You shouldn't have to know.
hey, look, I'm trying to help you out here in case I need to bring someone really important back from the dead.
I'll give you an example. If for
reason.
some reason you found out a way, this being almost impossible, right off the top of my head, since you brought it up, if your mother was brought back to life, that would create a problem. If for some reason she was brought back, which is highly unlikely,
super unlikely.
It'd be very unlikely.
I've looked into it.
Well,
but like, what kind of problems are we talking?
Well, if theoretically she was brought back, possibly anybody that should be around could be affected by simply what we would call the chaos. It would slowly but surely start falling people into a destiny that will replace hers. Eventually, destiny will take hold, and it will find out that if she cannot be held by it, then someone else will. And it will only be by people that are near her, theoretically.
Are we talking like proximity? Are we talking like relationship, bloodline? Like,
you're getting really technical here. What have you done?
I crossing my I's and dotting my T's, talking to the fate god that just showed up in my fucking room at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Fair enough. Theoretically, it hasn't happened much, but from what I understand, is if for some reason someone was brought back that was supposed to die due to fate, and they're brought back, most likely the person that they are spending the most time with is going to take their spot.
Oh. Good to know. Good thing she's dead. Very dead.
It's kind of morbid to say that, but yes.
It is. I very much miss her. Okay. So I'm still not wrapping my head around you being like the god of fate, but you're also like, the fate determines, the fate does this, the fate says this, and I'm just like, but that's not like your thing, that's your avenue, that's what you like. It's your little oyster. Your little pearl. You're the oyster, it's the pearl.
Your analogies are
Does that make
odd.
sense? I haven't had tea yet. I cut me some slack.
You haven't had your tea yet. Well, I can help out. So he just immediately puts his hand on the wall as the wall itself starts changing. The room that you're in starts turning into a luscious forest with nothing but a gazebo in the center, and you find yourself transported into his realm once again.
She just mutters to herself, I thought this was going to be a short conversation.
If you find his little teapot with his little emblem on it and cups all set up with a beautiful herbal tea. Please, let me supply what you're missing so we can talk on even fronts. Sit.
I could have had tea in the room, you know. I could have put clothes on first. Just like is standing there in this robe. Okay,
it's
not
right.
budging, fine.
Sit.
Reluctantly sits. The vibes are weird now.
The vibes are weird now? Now they're weird.
You've taken her out of her comfort zone with a guy that is very much unhinged that she's lying to actively. Yes, she's now uncomfortable.
Give me a perception check.
That's a 14.
Okay. It takes you a little bit, but as you maybe start drinking tea, you start to notice that there are 3 other Gladlands walking around, but not interacting with you. There's a Gladland that looks very similar to the one you're talking now, but he looks less celestial, less grandiose than what he does now, but relatively the same. Another one that looks similar to him, but maybe more of like a paladin or a fighter, and the other one that looks like a barbarian version of him. And they're kind of walking around, and they're kind of playing like the devil and angel on his shoulder. They're constantly whispering in his ears of telling him what choices to make and what answers to say to you.
This is giving me cacopial PTSD, so I'm going to stiffen up very much. Who are your friends? Hello? Like waves at them.
The hell are you waving at?
I thought I saw a bird or something. Never mind.
Drink some more tea. You obviously haven't woken up yet.
Can I subtly cast Detect Magic and see if there's something in this tea, like shrooms or I don't know?
Sure.
I mean, is he gonna notice? Because
well, Detect Magic is a somatic thing, right?
does that mean I have to say it?
No, somatic. That's verbal. Somatic is using your
Words are
hands as a
hard.
gesture to do it.
We'll just drink the tea after staring at it and giving it the good old sniff
Verbal
test.
and somatic.
Okay.
Oh,
So
yeah,
if
so
you
we'll
did
just
it, if you
sniff
wanted
it.
to do it, you could give me a sleight of hand check to
It's
see if you can make it quietly and gesturally. Otherwise, just go for it. But yeah, as
you
said-
bargaining with me over the spell makes me nervous. I wasn't nervous before, but now I am.
It's up to you.
Go straight cuckoos with it. Just like,
It's up to you.
I'll just drink it.
Okay. As you drink it, it just seems like normal tea. You don't seem to notice
Seems-
anything. It just tastes like really good tea.
Okay, all right.
He mentions to you now. You had some tea. My job is complicated. Everyone before me was 3s. I'm working in a job 1 person for 3. I can't just manipulate fate. I can't control it. I can only be alerted when fate is starting to get manipulated. Then I watch over it to make sure that the manipulation is only done so far. But in certain cases, and for some reason I cannot understand why, I can never detect your group. But only when you guys do something that really, really, really sets off the, let's say, the fate sensor, do I notice it. And at that point, it's already done. But I don't know why I can never sense you guys unless I'm within really a town of you.
You know, you regretting maybe not reaching out to me a little more in the last 10 years? That could have maybe stopped a lot of problems. Sips her tea very loudly. She's so bitter. She is so bitter.
Well, I apologize for the way I left. Yeah. I apologize for the way that I left things off. But with what I saw and the possible what could happen with me intervening in your life too much could have also been breaking my own code.
Is this breaking your code right now? She gestures to the tea set.
He just opens up a timepiece. No, we're good.
Okay. So I wish I had answers for you, but we just left Kieran's Gap and we're going to Nelethyr. That's all.
And Alasna?
She's chilling. I mean,
you're...
I do my prayers and stuff. She hasn't been mad at me or anything, is she? She's not saying anything to you, is she?
No. Her and I haven't been on this right. We haven't been on a good set of grounds in a while, so, but I do know that you are...
You need me, like, put in the word for you?
No.
Okay.
In fact, you know what?
What?
He pulls underneath this little tiny bell. Dings it once, very gently. Dings it again, a little bit louder. Dings it a couple times. You start to hear reverberation just kind of like start to move the trees surrounding you. All right, I know it's been a minute. I know that we haven't seen eye to eye in some time, but we have a problem here. And
wait, what's problem? We don't have a we don't have a problem. Who we call it? Wasn't it?
You start to feel a heat around your body.
There's no problem.
We're gonna pause on you.
Oh God.
So, all right, on the deck. For everybody who's on the deck, what would you like to do? While Apollo's apparently doing push-ups. And then 1,000.
Well, if I'd known
One
he
half.
Right. Good.
if I'd known he was doing them in his quarters, you know, he could come out and work out with the rest of us. But
Morning calisthenics.
yeah.
Fight Club now with Apollo.
Oh, I'm not quite up for Fight Club this morning. Just gonna, you know, get a little moving in.
Start cooking some breakfast for everyone.
Gaiju is still in the crow's nest as a cat crying.
Oh.
As far as illustration, Treya is out on. Where is the map? Treya is out on the bow right now. Silic is down in the mess hall, and you assume that Nyx is still in the room.
So as Zephynia goes toward the galley, you seen Gaiju anywhere? He's usually
Seen him since last
in
night.
evidence in the morning. I'm gonna start looking around for him. Try and find him. I'm gonna ask Arthur if he's seen him. I assume is Arthur at the helm?
Yeah, Arthur's at the helm. He's just like,
You seen the captain?
I saw him. Yes, I don't know where he is, as he constantly keeps looking up, but he doesn't say anything.
I look up at the direction that he's looking. Can I tell any? Does it in the direction of the crow's nest? Is it?
I mean,
I am not bright.
he. I mean, due to his anxiety, like he flinches a lot, so you can't tell if he's specifically looking at the crow's nest or just at another higher point. But he's definitely looking up.
He's looking up.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to start looking. Well, if you see him around, you know,
I will make sure that
we're all going to get some breakfast. So.
All right.
I start looking for things that are up. What is up? What is it? Can I tell what is up?
Well, so there is a crow's
be?
nest, but there are 3 different sail posts on the ship, and from where he's looking, you can assume it's either in the center one or the one on the bow. Other than that, the height of the actual, because you guys actually have the dirigible fully activated, assumingly that no one's actually within the actual balloon of it, there's really nothing. There's only just really a few standing posts, spots for cleaning, waxing, repairing, and then the only other thing is the actual crow's nest.
All right. Well, that seems like the most likely place for a person to be, especially because the other ones are I assume like open platforms, and that is like something somebody could be crouched down in.
Yep. Other than possibly within the actual blimp itself, that's the only hidden spot is the crow's nest.
Which seems unlikely. I'm not that dumb. I mean, I'm not bright, but I'm not that dumb. All right. Well, I am going to climb up there and see if he's there.
Okay. What does Dira find?
You probably see a little brown and black cat just like loafed against the mast, like trying to make himself like as small as possible. He's probably a little teary-eyed.
Is that you? I'm going to reach out very cautiously and kind of scritch behind the ears. It's kind of weird if it is, but I didn't think there was a cat on board.
Bellies?
No.
He just
no.
accepts it.
I'm going to just kind of curl up next to him. All right, well, I'm going to assume this is you. And if it ain't, the cat ain't going to tell on me. So,
He starts purring.
So, we were about to get some breakfast. We were wondering where you were. And, I don't know, this is unusual, but I know we're headed somewhere you're real nervous about. I know you want to go, but you don't know what we're going to find. So I can't say as I blame you for being up here, but we're going to need you to tell us what's going on when we get there, because you're the only one who knows. Scritchy, scritchy, scritch.
Amazing. I love it.
So, it's getting pretty late in the morning. I'm sure you're getting hungry. I mean, you got a real small tummy there right now, but I imagine you're going to need something to eat. So when you're ready, meantime, I guess I know where you are.
He'll just kind of like...
unless you want company for a little longer.
He'll just kind of like headbutt her thigh. Just a little thank you.
All right. Leslie scritch right between the ears.
Why does this cat have a 6-pack?
He's got an extra long tail.
Yes, of course he does.
Curled around the whole body like twice.
Alright.
This is the most cut cat I've ever seen.
You know we're always here. And you know that it might be hard to talk about things sometimes, but it's usually easier when you do. Can get some food soon, alright? Last scritch between the ears and I will climb back down and go to the galley.
Okay.
He'll probably stay up there a little bit longer before climbing down as a cat.
Alright. What about Zephynia or Apollo?
I am very badly making grits and bacon because my cooking skills are not that great.
Ooh,
but I know
grits.
we've all have a rough night and everybody needs food. And Dahlia's not up yet and I'm hungry.
I mean, I think we do have a cook, don't we?
Yes,
yeah,
you do have a
not
cook.
the same.
You do have a cook.
I'm just picturing this person hovering out, having been kicked out of the galley,
Yeah,
like holding the through the door, like,
have...
what are you, what?
Annie behind her.
Let's see, it's what's the can't remember his name. Let me see. Torbold.
I might know. That's right.
Torbold. Yeah, just kind of glaring at you. It's like, I can make it, you know. I'm good at making the food. I can make it for you. Like, don't put don't mix it that way. I'm gonna walk away. This is kind of killing me. Just let me know when you're done.
Can please come back.
Okay. Do you need me to fix it?
Yes.
Okay. Question.
Mm-hmm.
What were you making?
It was supposed to be grits.
That was okay. All right.
I tried.
Okay. All
Can
right.
you show me?
Okay. Yeah. I'll. Sure. 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 So he like immediately takes like immediately like almost like it's like almost insulting to him, like just takes the pan, he just chucks it out into like over like trash over there, and he just it's like
She looks
clean off.
very sad.
Cleans off. It's like it's all right. It's fine. So it's cleaned off. Starts cleaning off all the pans and the pots, and he starts showing you how to actually make what are his proper family grits. And then he starts putting everything together. It's gonna take a little bit of time, but he starts going through everything, and he's not like a fancy chef, but he definitely does like the old-fashioned like grandma, like these are the exact recipes you need to do. He like pulls out like his 50-page like recipe book from like passed down between like 10 different generations, kind of like that.
She's low-key making notes like doesn't want to seem like she doesn't know what she's doing, but she really did not know how to cook very well.
The only thing you notice that he likes to do a little bit too much is just like, all right, now don't tell anyone my little secret ingredient. He just opens up a cask of ale and he immediately like puts a little bit of ale inside of it. No, shh, don't tell them. I don't think a lot of people would like it that they found out that they could easily get drunk off my food. No, we just keep mixing it. We're gonna let it reduce in there. No more than that. We don't want to get weird.
Let me tell you, and then my computer froze and I heard nothing.
Oh no.
I'm like, let me tell you what.
It'll stay a secret now forever.
He was telling you that his secret ingredient is always putting ale inside of his food.
Oh, that's a good secret ingredient.
Now I keep a specific kind of ale. I don't let really anybody just drink it. This isn't really drinking ale. And I've been making this myself, and my father and his father and so on and so forth have been making this exact recipe, and swear to God, if you tell anybody, shit will go down. And he immediately shows you, and you kind of like smell it, and it doesn't smell super inviting, but you can kind of then tell, like the flavors in it of how it would actually work for cooking. As he immediately kind of puts it in there and replaces it with water, and it starts, kind of boiling over and stuff like that. But he'll show you his own traditional way of how to actually make his kind of style of grits that his family's passed down. Apollo.
So he comes up finally on deck, and like he kind of like opens the door for a second, just peeks out to make sure no one's out there, and then he comes out without his shirt on, and he's like super sweaty. He's just like trying to cool down in the air, and he's just like, "Ooh, yes, that was 10, which is 5 more than my best. God, I need to work out more."
Treya, all of a sudden, because of that actually makes like Treya smile as she just like looks at you. How aggressive was that book that you were reading there, bud?
Such a good book. It was nerve-wracking, and it made me sweat, and I had to get there.
Oh, okay. She kind of like walked up to you. You mind if I borrow that book?
Yeah, I'd have to go get it. It's down in my room.
Okay. All right.
It was about law enforcement and their daily activities, and yeah.
Interesting. Teacher's own. Well, I'll give it a shot. Who knows? Maybe it tickles my fancy.
Yeah, of course. No problem. I can get that for you later.
Okay. All right. Whew. She kind of like looks at you up and down. Yeah. All right. And she kind of keeps moving on.
Just like he'll just like kind of fling his jacket on real quick and be like, people are probably getting food. I should probably go get something to eat. And he'll head for the galley.
Okay.
What? Something's smelling good down here.
At this point, you do see Torvald and Sophia making, which is furthest, like it looks like a bunch of dishes in there. You taught Sophia how to make the roux for it and all the proper ingredients for it. And after so long, maybe Sophia started getting a little aggravated, but you finally able to properly make the proper batch of his alcoholic grits for breakfast. And he just looks at you. Shh. You can tell him you made it, but don't tell him about the secret ingredient. And he starts like closing off a little bit. As you got a full pot of grits to serve, so plenty of help.
I like hold it and I turn around with this big grin, like I did this, and I bring it to the table and.
That smells amazing, Sophia.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Some food.
It does smell very, very good. It does have like almost kind of like a dinner grits kind of smell instead of like a breakfast. It definitely does have like the hint of like a almost kind of like it's been cooking over like several days. Definitely an aged kind of grits kind of smell to it. As the smells become very inviting, it's kind of like movement throughout the ship. Everybody, with the exception of Dahlia, is smelling this right now, and it's kind of doing the cartoon Looney Tunes kind of pull where you're kind of smelling it and you're kind of almost wanting to follow the actual little lines of a smell moving in through the air.
Anybody seen Dahlia?
Can't say that I have.
At this point, Silic moves down there. fuck is that? Oh, it smells great.
You seen your sister?
I'm assuming she's is she with Gaju?
No. I saw him.
Oh.
Was she up real late? I don't want to disturb her if she's...
She tends to sleep in, so if she's not with Gaju, she's probably in the cabin. I'll go get her.
Alright.
Fucking extra bowl for me. Shit. He kind of goes over there and grabs like a beer helping. Okay.
How'd everybody sleep? Alright. How
Bad.
you doing, Sfinia? You seem very industrious this morning.
I thought I'd just do something nice for everybody. We've been through a lot lately, and we really haven't had a nice meal together in a while, and I kind of wanted to cook something.
Well, it's much appreciated. Didn't know you knew how to do this.
I didn't know I knew how to do this either.
Discovering new talents.
I'm gonna take a bite. Wow, that's good.
Silica's like not even like breathing, like he's just like having like little scoops. Okay. So Apollo, you're gonna head over to Dahlia.
Yeah, I'm heading for the captain's quarters.
Okay. You make your way over to the captain's quarters. The door is closed, but does not seem locked.
Out of history of things of barging in and not wanting to see what I saw, I'm going to go ahead and knock loudly.
Okay. You knock loudly. There's no response on the inside.
And I'll listen for a second. If I don't hear anything, then I'm like,
Okay.
I'll go ahead and open the door.
Give me a perception check.
It's not bad. Let's see what we got. 19.
Listening in, the odd sounds of wind breathing against the leaves of trees, the sound of clinking dinnerware, the almost sounds like whatever's behind this door is a forest with some kind of party going on inside. Maybe someone having food.
It is just like, fuck me, and like opens the door real quick.
As you open it up, it immediately is just a blank wall. Looks like whatever's happening inside the room you cannot see unless you pass through the wall. But you can hear a sound going on, and you can't hear the words, but you can faintly hear a male talking to what clearly sounds like Dahlia on the other side of this wall.
Straight up Harry Potter this and run through the wall.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna pause on you for a
Probably
second.
coming down the mast at this point. Would I see him just booking it into my room?
Yeah. Like all of a sudden, just like opens in and just like fuck it and just like runs right in. The door
There's just
does
a
shut
really
by him, by the
confused
way.
cat on
Okay.
this ship.
Going back over to Dahlia. At this point, I know, but please, this is getting a little bit out of hand. And as your body
What's getting out the hand?
Shh,
What?
she's coming.
Don't shush me.
As you start to feel the familiar warmth of the beginning of Alasna's arrival, as the sky itself, already sunny out in this world that he created, starts to almost heat up a little bit more. For your skin, you're finding this kind of almost unbearable to be out. It's starting to turn. It's like 100 degrees outside.
I really can't get much more naked than this, other than taking this robe off. So this is not pleasant.
As you start to see the feathers fall and eventually turn embers as they weight to the ground, as you start to see the ever-gliding falling down of Alasna. For Apollo, you're about 100 feet away from them, coming into this path of the forest. And in the distance, you just see what looks like two people having a little dinner party in a gazebo in the middle of nowhere. And then randomly, that just makes things odder, is you just see an angel of fire just start like floating in like it's just another Tuesday.
I would be concerned about this, but this shit happens a lot.
Hashtag just cleric things.
I was gonna say hashtag Blades of Bahamut, but like that's
Hashtag. So what else is new?
yeah, right. But
This is a normal Tuesday for us.
you enter in about this time. As she starts to float down and she lands, and she looks at Gladlin and she looks at you, Dahlia. She greets you. It's been some time. It's good to see you again in proper order. How are the others?
For order with me in a fucking like silk robe right now. Very much like, oh shit. Dips her head respectfully. We're good. Do you want the short story or the long story?
She looks back at Gladlin. I feel there's no short story to this. She looks back. Good.
I'm not quite sure why I'm here and what he's going on about. But hopefully we're not disturbing you. I know that you have a lot of busy things to do.
It's alright. I wasn't too far. As she looks back at Gladlin, she discards the ability of her wings as they kind of fold up over her shoulders, very much gargoyle style, as they kind of like lay over and they kind of transport into like a crimson cape around her body as she just kind of like lays it over her arms. Gladlin, Sarah, sorry, Alasna, if you don't mind. Thank you. As she sits. As it very much feels like a parent-teacher conference, kind of like that, where it's like almost like you got in trouble, kind of like that.
Would you like some tea?
Yes, thank you.
Being a good little cleric, I'm gonna fill my fucking god's teacup. As you do. That's what they teach you in cleric school.
As your point, so she looks at Gladlin. Glenn's about to say something, she just interrupts. Before you say anything, why am I here?
That is a great question. Gladlin?
All due respect, whether or not what used to be, I have to report to you whenever things like this get too severe. All of us do. Whatever's happening with what are now your patrons, your disciples, whatever you want to call them. Chaos is affecting them too much. Whatever's happening, fate is changing around them, and it's epicentering around them. I believe it's not her fault, but something is happening around them, whether it's theirs intention or someone else that's affecting them maliciously. She immediately interrupts.
Hold on. You thought this... Sorry, I'm not going to interrupt my god for sure.
What would you have me do? You are the god of fate. You decided to take up on this role on your own. What can I do? I can't kill him.
That is preferred not. I look at Lasna like, see, serious.
She looks back and she just kind of just puts her hand up. She looks back at him. How about something less severe? How about we investigate what the error is first before we decide to convict them? Willie is another issue. For some reason, I can't track them. For some reason, they've been in a void against my vision for some time. And from what I understand from some of the other gods, it's not just me. She just looks puzzled. And at that point, she looks alarmed.
I feel like I'm on trial.
You're not. You're not, as Alasna says. But if for some reason you cannot be watched by other gods, that is a problem. I was actually going to mention why you haven't contacted me in a little bit. I know I got a contact from Gaju some time ago, but it was limited, and I could only send so much. But I wasn't able to see anything.
Yes, about that. We went on a little vacation of sorts. Was not planned,
That's fine.
but that I was gonna do my morning prayer this morning before somebody tried to attack me in my own bed. Thank you, Gladlin. So
I'm sorry, what?
otherwise, he didn't even knock. It was so rude.
She just looks back at him. It's been very difficult. I've been one person. She immediately stands up and she just like uses her wings as a dominance thing, as she immediately sends him out. Paulo, what do you want to do? You're watching this all happen.
Oh, I was walking towards it the whole time.
Okay, you're walking towards it. All right, I'd say
Oh,
about this
hell
time
yeah.
you would reach it.
Stroll on in.
Due to the immediate drama that's going on, they don't notice you. I'd say Dahlia, you probably do because you'd be looking at the direction of where he's coming from.
I just like lean over at my chair and I'm just like giving him that stare of like, what the fuck are you doing here?
I give the one back of, what are you fucking doing here?
I give him the look back. I asked you first.
As both of them kind of like look at you, Apollo, it's like, you just let people enter into your domain, Gladlin? I don't know who the fuck he is.
To be fair, the door was open and I just walked in.
At this time, does a little cat just pop in?
I mean, if you want to go in the room, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's his room.
Like, Dahlia, oh, yeah, one of the imaginary god friends. I've seen you before. And I'll point at Gladlin. From the party night, before
Hades. Hades.
What? Yes, hi.
No, not right now.
He is, right? I mean, I haven't met you, madam. You seem very lovely.
I'm gonna psychic whispers to him and be like, this is really not a good time.
Like,
Got
you, as soon as you arrive, you immediately see, like, the wings stretched out as far as they can from Alazna, and you see, like, Gladlin cannot bow any lower to her.
Oh, fucking hell. I'll go back into my normal form. What the hell is going on?
I was gonna use my telepathy to go back to you and just be like, I'm trying to do my best here.
You just see, like, Gladlin's eyes roll. It's like, fuck, this couldn't get any worse than me. All right, well, I'll take care of it. We'll take care of it. You all...
What are we taking care of? Because you suddenly start talking about killing people, and I just need to clarify that is not taking care of something.
No one's dying.
I don't even know what we did.
As she lowers her wings back to a cloak stance, she looks at all of you. Plainly, I understand that Gladlin can be a little douche with riddles, but his job is to make sure that everybody's course of destiny is followed. Everybody has very enough points that they can take without changing destiny. You have two choices you can make, and they're allowed. But for some reason, something happened in the past X amount of hours where all of your fates have changed so much that you have destroyed and threw out the piece of paper that was your fate and you created a new one. This cannot happen. It leaves the realm in chaos. Gladlin has the ability, and he should know the futures that you are supposed to go to. I'm guessing he cannot see them.
I'm just saying, based off of the information I have been given, about myself and the future and the people I know involved in the future, it's already going to chaos. So, can we not try to fix that? Would you not be on the same team of us of trying to fix that?
There's two forms of chaos, but I understand where you're coming from. Just as a lesson saying this, just I'll take care of it on my end. I'll let you know what I know. But if you have any inklings, or if you find out anything about seeing glimpses in the future, or find information about the past, or anything like that, do me a favor and let me know, so it doesn't turn into this event again. Good?
Yes. So I'm reporting to you, points to Alazna, not you, points to Gladlin.
You. As she looks back at Gladlin, she's like, he shouldn't have been here. Trust me, he'll be severely punished.
All I'm asking is just to knock next time. And maybe give me a heads up. And maybe
You
talk
should have
to
been
me a
given a
little
heads
more.
up. That being said, it is nice to see you all again. Hades, Apollo, whoever you are, pleasure to meet you.
You just well met him.
That being said, I have things to do, not to rush out, but I'll take care of this mess. Just keep in touch with me to let me know if there's anything you know. Just know that even if it's an ability or an enchantment you were given, if you are able to see and peer into the future, that is something we need to know about. But I trust you.
Do I see Gaiju here at this point?
Yeah.
I meet his look like, oh shit.
That being said, everyone farewell. Thank you for tea. And she just immediately takes Gladlin by the shoulder, and she immediately just flies off as the forest image itself disappears and you're back inside the captain's cabin.
Elliot, why are you in your robe?
That's your question.
When
I mean-
shit has happened.
To be fair, pardon
How
my
dare you not
outfit,
get
but what
ready?
the fuck?
I just turned to both of them and be like, you're lucky I even got the robe. Because it wasn't there before.
You don't
Yes,
hear
I've
me
seen it before.
complain.
Yeah, well, waking up being attacked by a god is definitely not how I wanted to start the day, but that's fine.
Excuse you?
Yeah.
Oh,
He showed up.
I should also imply that I'm assuming that Apollo still looks really sweaty at this point. So he's randomly still really
He's glistening. All right. It's been that long. He's just gonna be like, I'm actually surprisingly surprised that hasn't happened to us before.
I've had tea with Gladlin before.
No, but I mean
But,
waking up by a god attacking us.
Oh, there's a first time for everything, and I don't recommend it.
Note
And
to
I
self,
definitely don't wish to know
gods
anyone else
attack
can.
players at night.
Oh. Just gonna look down at her robe. Can I get dressed?
We'll step out. Sorry.
At this point too, you
Gradual
probably
step
smell the odor of the food from the galley too. Halfway.
Do I want to know who's cooking out there?
Oh, yeah, that's actually why I was coming here originally. Zephinia made grits. I'm assuming with some help, but it smells rather good, and Jiro seemed to be enjoying it when I walked out.
Silic's on his third bowl.
I will say, Silic was in there too, just so Dahlia knows that, and sisterly, that fucker.
Which one of you is eating for two?
Hey, it has been a rough several weeks. I'm hungry. Let me eat my feelings.
I am not going to argue. There's plenty, clearly, so by all means, if it
And-
helps you.
And basically everything that you assume that Torvald makes is comfort food. It's putting extra fat and everything. Extra love is 3 pounds of butter and extra and extra grease and stuff like that. So it's I want to eat my feelings. More fat.
Paula Deen.
Hey, we're going to work it off, I'm sure.
You gotta swim it off. Take 20 laps around the ship or something like that in the water.
There you go.
I think after
I think we're in the air, aren't we?
Oh, that's true. That's why you can't do that.
Some real big laps.
He's gonna have to 2,000 feet dolphin jump back into the ship.
Loving that dive.
Yeah, just a big huge. He's gonna do 20. As somebody's actually commenting it, and he's doing a 5,000 turn in the air. Oh, and I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
I just
Ooh,
love
that's a
that
5 from the
belly
Gaiju.
flop.
A 5 from the Nelethyrians.
Oh, and he landed on the Kraken. That's gonna be deducted from his score.
Ooh.
This sounds painful. Right on this Kraken.
You have
Okay.
the whole ocean and smack.
Lands on a sandbar.
That would be our luck.
Yep.
All right.
So after 10 minutes or so, Dolly finally does come down with clothes on. Finally.
Morning.
Morning.
Hey,
Straight to the grits.
how you doing? How's it going?
Who's saying that? So, like,
Silic.
are you sick? You look full of.
It's really
Weird.
good. It's really good.
He's had 3 bowls.
I'm gonna have another
So
one.
then
Damn
you
it!
did real well.
Can I insight check him?
Sure.
Is he drunk because he had 3 bowls? Or would it be a medicine check?
Medicine
know.
check would actually have to be Well, I mean, you could do either one. Yeah, you could do the one.
Okay, I'm gonna do insight because insight's way higher. Oh, a 16.
He doesn't look drunk. He just looks like he had a rough night and he just wants to eat his feelings.
I will
Get
eat
that,
to
buddy.
that.
Right there with you.
Hey, if I'm depressed, I like to eat. That's me. That's me in a nutshell.
You eat as much as you want, Silik. Do you want me to get you another bowl? Because I'm right here.
Yeah, if you don't mind. Yeah, that'd be great.
Did we take some to Nick's?
She's sleeping right now.
All right.
We can save her a bowl.
Yeah.
I bet it'll reheat real well.
As you like say that, he starts slowing down his eating, and he starts like calming down his eating. He starts like eating regularly.
Is she alright?
Is everybody in the galley now?
I think so.
So going to Nelethyr? Silik's actually seen this.
Yep.
Alright. Do you need me to help? Or you guys got it?
Would you be going somewhere else?
No. I mean, we're got nowhere else to go, and it's probably better that she relaxes. So I'm gonna stay by her as much as I can. But if you guys need me, I can help you out. But I had a talk with the Trey girl last night. Probably wouldn't hurt if she got out and about. If you guys would do anything. I think she's been a little stuck on the ship too long.
She can be handy to have around. Ain't no denying that.
By the way, do you know what's going on with her? She seems to have a lot on her mind.
Ren kind of dropped a big bomb on her.
Maybe we can, talk to her and have a book club meeting. Hades, we haven't done that in a while.
Y'all
But-
got a book club?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was interested in reading a book, she was saying, so we could potentially get her one to read and we could all discuss.
Apollo hosts
Yeah,
Ladies'
but
Night Book Club.
You're welcome to join too if you want. Any of you, really. We have to find the book, enough copies for everyone, but
I don't know that I'd keep up, but I'd be interested in listening.
well, maybe I'll go talk to her later and just see if she's alright.
Ask her if she wants to come along. What we're doing, whatever. What are we doing?
I like a guide you.
It would probably be better if you stayed here with Nyx, Selic. We can take Traya if she's wanting to come.
Are we going to be able to dock at a port here?
That's my hope. I need to talk to the crew, especially Arthur, about the expectations for docking. It would probably be best if no one mentioned that I was the captain. Rather not have the ship seized, or otherwise we could see if we could just park somewhere in the clouds, but...
Maybe Silic can be captain while we're gone.
He just like looks up with his eyes open wide. It's like, I'm good, thanks.
Now, hear me out, Silic. It could be good practice for being a dad.
I guess, sure.
I'll have Arthur pull all the shots and you can just say you're captain.
All right.
I just feel like it may go to Arthur's head a little too much, you know?
He used to handling things when we ain't here. He does real well, doesn't he?
He does.
He's passionate.
That's a good thing,
Especially
isn't it?
when it comes to Cindy.
Yes.
Not in that way, I don't
Just
think.
fuck
but-
already.
I can't imagine. After
I wasn't... Oh. That's a weird thought. Takes a really big bite of this.
Are they getting along better? I ain't really seen much yet to know.
She's
It's
abusing
been a
him
long
less.
time for them to be on less.
He's less scarred physically.
He bosses her around quite a bit, too. She kind of just keeps to herself in the smithy at this point. So, did everyone sleep well?
Yeah. Boy, I needed it.
Was I can for trance.
Looked okay, but Dahlia, I feel like we probably should discuss what just occurred.
Occurred.
Just cleric business, really.
Not from what I was hearing.
I'm trying to figure out how to word it. So Gladlin paid a visit this morning and is not very happy about a lot of things, but in particular, we seem to be changing fate quite a bit, and he has no way to track that, and he's not happy about that. So,
Good thing for us, right?
we'll see, that's what I thought, but
We ain't setting out to change fate. Just doing the best we can.
It's a little bit. A few things.
I have a feeling it has something to do with the visions that many of us get, and I guess actions that we take or things that we choose to do that end up drastically changing the future. And I'm not entirely sure how to fix that. I'm not entirely sure what to tell him either. He's not
You fix-
well. I would say
Like
no.
we asked for it.
But the more apparently we rewrite things, the more likely that we will unleash chaos. Not in... It would be unraveling things. It's kind of how he put it. Loosely, bad things could start happening.
I mean,
Worse than what's already said.
what we've seen from our visions, bad things already happened, so...
I can't see how much you can get much worse than that.
Exactly.
Well, see, that's what I said, but Goblin didn't really agree with that. And then Alazna got involved, and she was not really enthusiastic about being there. And so... maybe we should not mess with items that can affect our perception of the future for a little bit.
I will say one thing that did seem rather odd that I overheard was the fact of... It sounded like Lasna said something about the chaos and that it was affecting us, but that the gods and herself and Gladlin could not see us?
It seems that whatever we're doing or whatever hole we've dug for ourselves already, they're not able to follow. I'm not quite sure why, and it seems like they aren't either, and they're not happy about it. I'm not quite sure how to fix it. They're gods and we're not, so I feel like it's really on them, but...
Right.
Speaking of gods and things, perhaps... And this is a quick theory here, would be, with everything that has happened with Zephinia, could her abilities or connections be throwing up some kind of curtain or blanket around us, perhaps?
Can I insight check myself for that?
For what specifically?
Like, if I can notice if I'm blocking anybody, or...
Could be in a
if
shroud?
I-
Yeah, you can give yourself an insight check.
That is... Oh. I don't know.
You assume not.
Drugs.
But you have started to understand how your powers work, and that's not one of them. Your powers that you have when you picked war are mostly specifically meant for combat, and it wouldn't necessarily apply to this.
Well, I don't think it's me, because I don't feel like I'm blocking anybody, and I'm feeling very punchy, not like I want somebody out of my head.
But could it be just like a passive thing? Like, Dahlia, is that something that gods do or can do? Or, I mean, if you try to reach out and they put you on hold or something, don't want to listen to you?
I mean, they put you on hold quite a lot, actually. But,
That'd be...
I mean, getting put on hold is not weird, if that's what you're asking. But they do seem pretty distressed that we apparently seem to be a pretty big exception to the fact that they can't see us, and now that we're supposedly changing fate, now we're pretty high on their radar now. They're going to be looking for us.
Don't have anything to do about us being pulled out of time, does it?
But only
could be
half of us were. So technically they should be able to see at least half of us then.
Yes.
Can I insight check myself?
Yourself?
Yes.
We don't trust any of ourselves.
Is it me?
I trust
Am
all of
the
y'all.
drama?
Is it me, Jesus?
Am I the problem?
Oh, okay. Insight. That's gonna be a 19.
You assume it's not you, but it's something you're carrying. You think it's a sword.
Did they mention anything about how long they've not been able to see us?
DM, I feel like they did, and I can't remember
They did not.
what they said. They didn't? Okay.
I have theories, but it wouldn't make sense for why they haven't been able to see us for however long.
They didn't specify how long. According to Gladlin, I've never really been on the radar for a long time, but candidly, it could be Zephinia and her powers. It could be my mother. It could be the Shadowfell. It could be the time jump. It could be the sword. There are a lot of factors at play here that do bend and change fate. And maybe it could be all of them. I'm assuming that this is not normal for people to have this much involvement in the future and these visions and these items.
Didn't ask for it. They just come to us.
Then maybe that's something we should take note of too. We don't
Where
look
they
for
come-
these things.
we-
They do just happen.
We don't know where they. Usually don't know where they come from.
Joe, can I insight check, thinking back to the conversation as I was walking up to Dahlia and everybody? Can I insight check the conversation to see if they were more upset or nervous that they could not see us and that we were changing things?
Sure. You can give me a insight check on that.
Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. 24?
Gladlin himself seemed upset, probably because it's his job. When you saw there was approach to Elasna, she seemed nervous.
Okay. So kind of like he's taking this all in and like he's kind of like taking a spoonful and kind of just like taps himself for a second. He's like, I have a thought. And you know, Gladlin seemed upset that we were doing this, and you said that that's his deal, his position in deityhood.
Supposed to be.
Elasna, on the other hand, she seemed nervous. And of tales and stories that I've read of gods in the past, and works of fiction, mostly, gods tend to be afraid of things that they can't control, from my understanding, or have no knowledge of things that can affect them. Perhaps it's not a matter of that they are angry, but afraid that they have no power in this situation if we continue on a course of action and potentially alter their fate, and they don't like that.
Is it possible maybe objectively we're not doing anything wrong? We're just not doing it their
What
way.
they want.
Or where they can see it?
They fear what they can't control, I suppose. Kind of a wild card.
Ain't that the problem they had with Copiel? She wanted to control everything?
My understanding, most gods want to control everything.
Well,
There's something about him judging her for it, I guess.
something's going on with Gladlin. Speaking of Cocopiel, I saw multiple versions of him in his own realm, and he didn't seem to see them either when I tried to talk about it. So I'm a little nervous that Cocopiel's condition is not isolated to just her. It can happen to any of them.
We
Did
didn't
Guide you
tell-
or I see that?
So what?
The other Gladlins?
Yes, you would have seen them as well.
And he had no idea it was going on?
He didn't see what I saw. I asked him who they were, and he didn't know what I was talking about, and I quickly dropped it because he just threatened me earlier, so Did not want to push buttons.
And the Cocopials know about each other. I don't know if this is the same thing or if it's something new and different. I don't know which I'd prefer.
Don't seem good regardless.
I just feel maybe we should be careful, knowingly messing with things that could alter fate. At least for a little bit, or maybe until we can find out more ourselves, but it's not that I necessarily think we're doing anything bad, but it's putting us on a lot of very powerful radars, and not all of them are the most fair and rational at the moment.
Kind of
When
sounds like
we-
we're on. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
When we all got back, we didn't tell Zephinia and Dahlia about what we found out about Gladolin, did we?
I don't think so.
Mm-mm.
Oh boy. I think maybe we need to be wary of the gods that we trust. Particularly Gladolin and Alasna.
I mean, you don't have to tell me twice about Gladwin. I certainly don't trust him. I actually had to lie a little bit about somebody that is below deck. She, like, gestures to where her father's quarters would be.
No.
And I am a little nervous when he finds out that I was not truthful. But I see no reason to not trust Alasna, though.
Seems like all the gods got their own things that they want, ways that they want them to be.
Hidden agendas.
That thing.
When we were in Zephyr's mindscape, and we spoke to the others that were there, they mentioned something about Seraphina and Amoros. Not Alasna. I think in the future she's going to split.
A lot of
In the
that going
future?
around.
If she was split in the past, that's surely what they're talking about.
No, they're talking. They meant where they came from.
Who?
Those other people that were there, the little green one and the blue fellow with the.
You remember Apollo told you, yes, there was a group from the future, and then there was us.
Okay, it's coming back to her now, but she's still giving you all really weird looks because the little
With
green
the-
girl
yeah.
and a blue
and
guy.
The real hot-headed one that turned into a wolf thing.
She believes that you
She was
guys
fucking
believe
weird,
that you
wasn't
saw
she?
her or saw him.
Sure
Still
thing,
on
Dira.
the
Let's
push.
get
Sure
you to
you
bed.
did. Sure you did.
Look here, you little shit.
Kind of just that smile and nod. Okay.
So if there's, we already know there's 4 Cocopials. Apparently there's 3 Gladlins.
Hmm.
Now there's going to be Seraphina and what's her name separate again, and not Elisna. It's like they're all shuffling around,
And a partridge in a pear tree.
and they're breaking into smaller pieces.
I mean, surely we couldn't have caused that, right?
I can't imagine. I can't see how. Seems like it's the way they're headed already. Fighting among themselves. They're breaking up smaller. Does that make them less? Does it make them less gods? Does it make them? I don't know.
I'm really not sure. I mean, Luna gave me power. I don't know if that's still, if she still has it, or if I have all of it or partial of it, but it was very odd that the other Cocopials couldn't tell me apart from Luna. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means I've got most of her power, if she's becoming less of a god and I'm becoming more.
Zephynia, insight check, please.
Yes.
You've been given all the knowledge. You just got to see if you can understand it.
Ooh. Please be better
Oh,
than
good.
3. 10.
Okay. With now finding out that you actually know everything, it's just you got to kind of like go through it like a memory and trying to understand what this is that you now have. Finding out a few things, and maybe you got to research and just think upon it some more, maybe just let your dreams kind of take upon you. You're able to understand a couple things. One, for whatever reason, why she decided to do it, Luna is slowly becoming immortal. And she gave you her powers being an immortal. In every sense of the word. You know, whether you believe it or not, you can't die. But due to it, you unfortunately got the side effect of, for some reason the stream's like disconnected for 2 seconds. That's weird.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's
laggy right now. And now
loading
it's
for me.
I feel like everything's being weird tonight.
Okay, it
Yeah.
it lagged for literally 2
Including these
seconds
guys.
because it literally just went up to 60 frames per second, dropped, and it just went back to now. It's
Yeah, it was
fixed
it was lagging for me, and I reloaded the page, and it was still lagging.
All
Good
the
for me now.
storms.
It's working for me.
It could be the storms.
Yeah, it could be the
Yeah.
weather right now. Yeah. So you're immune to diseases. As far as you know, you can't die due to this ability. But your connection to them is unfortunately a drawback, and you're unsure if they can always know where you are, and you can always know where they are, but you know that you have a connection that is almost might even be a little to you, since this is what you really wanted, almost kind of violating. You also seem to understand what war has done for you, what the choice of war has done, other than the physical applications to you. Your connection to... You sense powers of different gods, specifically ones that have an affinity to death. Until you test it out, you really don't know what the limits are. But as far as that check, that's what you can guess on.
Okay.
The abilities you had before you made this decision, being able to pull into people's bodies and kind of help them out, you feel like it's gone to you. Maybe that was the choice of peace. You no longer have the abilities to help people, but only help yourself. Not like it's unavailable to you, but the powers are meant for self-care, not overall care. But yeah.
I mean, I feel more than I was. I feel like I've taken on a lot of her traits, her powers, her everything. Maybe Gladeline's going through something similar.
I mean, it's the future. We have plenty of time until then, and, you know, the gods are always up to something. They're always doing things that we can't always explain to ourselves, so maybe he's just going through a rough patch. Maybe Cocopial is going on a really dramatic rough patch right now, and maybe it'll all be figured out by then, and maybe Elasna is just going to go by 2 different names, or morph into something different at that context. That doesn't mean that they're not gods anymore, and that, you know, they still don't have abilities or anything in the future. So maybe it's nothing that big to worry about. You can see she's kind of just trying to reassure herself because she's the cleric.
Have we ever learned why Cocopio split into multiple personalities or the beings? What
It
caused
was
it?
some kind of punishment, wasn't it?
I believe she went mad, and that was the only way
Because
to
she
save
wanted to
herself.
start everything over.
I should know this as a player.
Yeah. Well, as a player, it was
Been here
because she
since
wanted
the
she wanted
beginning.
to reboot everything and start it over without free will because free will was a mistake.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
so, in order to stop her, that was because they
was-
couldn't
Yep.
kill her. They
Okay.
split her up instead.
Yep. The previous
Thank
gods
you.
that no longer exist, except for a few of them, decided not to follow suit, sacrificed their lives to essentially make her mortal. She went insane. She saw the powers, so she split herself off into 4 parts that made sense. One has her god powers, which is the All-Mother. One that has her magical powers, but is immortal, which is the Queen. One that has her angelic powers before she god, which is Luna. And then one is that is her adolescence, which is Little Yuna.
Little Luna.
Oh. I mean, they do their own things. They're in their own world. They have magic that we can't even comprehend, powers that we cannot comprehend, and I'm sure it does alarm them that, we fall under the radar, but I'm sure it's happened before, and I'm sure it's not anything to worry about. It's not anything we're doing, and surely not maliciously, so maybe we just be cognizant that they are a little hyper aware and nervous, and carry on knowing that.
We'll
That's
just
all.
Be cautious.
She's gonna look at Gaiju because she has an inkling that Gladden specifically was summoned because they messed with the sword.
I guess we'll see. I don't know. Much is uncertain right now.
Well, that's true. But, yeah, that was my morning. How's everyone else's morning?
I learned to make food.
And delicious
is really
food
good.
it is. Mine was pretty quiet until all of this.
Well,
So yours was definitely the most eventful.
yeah, it was. She's gonna, push up from her chair and be like, I'm a little late for my morning prayers. I got a little in trouble for those, so I'm gonna go do that. And then she just hurries out.
So, back to kind of where we were before. What's the plan? What are we doing?
Well, we are on our way to Nelethyr, which I suppose brings up something that I found out this morning. My father is alive. He's on Nelethyr. At least for the next 2 days. I have an option.
Thought your father was dead.
At this point, I thought he was too.
Or at least that he left a long time ago.
Is this congratulations or are you not happy?
My father has been missing for 23 years. To find out that he seems to be well and still on the same continent as the last time I saw him, I don't know what that means. I don't know if I should be excited or if I should punch the bastard in the face when I see him.
You can always do both.
But you're going to see him. Is that it?
That's where the dilemma comes in. My father is apparently in Carthus, which is more towards the northern part of Nelethyr. It's the opposite direction, almost, for us. If we were to go there, I would need to change our course now. However, that would also take us away from the port that we were headed to. Me no longer walk to Plague Nest or wherever we're headed with Soma. I'm not going to let my emotions dictate where we go and what we do. I'm well aware that they cause issues in times like these, so I will leave that up to the group to decide.
Say I've ever had a very good relationship with my family, but if that's something you want to do, we'll be with you.
That ain't just your emotions calling the shots. It's 23 years.
Yeah.
And you don't know what happened?
As far as I know, my mother and sister don't either.
Well, I think y'all deserve to.
Would be nice for you to get some closure.
I mean, if it's out of our way, might make it a little harder to do things. But if we're just gonna go around, I don't know. Sometimes I think taking care of this stuff is almost more. I know we got to clear the nest and do that stuff.
I believe this morning we got a message from Soma saying to let him know when we were ready, so I believe we had agreed with him 3 months' time before we actually got to the nest. I would almost argue we have the time.
Then we should use it.
Then it would appear as though we are not ready and someone can wait.
Yeah. Ain't no reason to rush it.
Pull out, like, I think it was the little locket. I can always call him later and let him know that we're ready.
So, the only other problem that I can see is we may have to go over the island of Nelethyr, which has a fair amount of military on it. I don't know what it'll be like if we fly over it, or if we'll run into danger there.
Do they have the ability to bring down flying things such as like dragons or other things that fly like that?
DM, would I have a base knowledge of that, considering it's been like 18 years since I've been to Nelethyr?
I heard dragons. What was the actual question that you had, Hades, Apollo?
I asked if Nelethyr had the ability of like basically air defenses. Like, can they shoot down dragons, other things that fly like that?
So last time Gaju had been there, they don't necessarily have like cannons or anything like that to shoot things out in air, but they do have ways to combat in air. They have a lot of the actual what's the group I called them? The Order of the Dragon. They originate in the army of Nelethyr. So they actually are soldiers for Nelethyr. So they are actually dragon riders that actually serve Nelethyr. So they do actually survey the actual skies quite often. Other than that, I mean, just like any other nation, they do have their own ships such as yours, but you have no idea how many they have compared to maybe what, Arendt has or what Heartwind has, or well, technically same thing. But if it's a big thing they got, or only just a few, you don't know. But you do know that they do have an order that originates out of Nelethyr, which is the Order of the Dragon, which are people that actually bond with their dragons, and they live in the sky quite often.
I guess I would basically relay that of like, hey, here's what I know from 18 years ago.
I don't suppose there's a way around.
Not that will get us there in 2 days, no.
I mean, we can try it.
We fly real high, maybe we can not be noticed. I mean, I don't want to start an incident. They get real huffy about stuff flying by.
I would probably assume so. Neletyrians are kind of patriotic and possessive of their land and peoples.
Going beyond the land.
You think you could get there faster as a Thunderbird?
I'd probably be able to shave off a few hours or so, but
Don't like him going by himself.
I don't either, but if we don't have a choice, we could send someone or two with Gaju.
it's something to consider. I may speak to Tenzin and see if he knows of anything in Nelethyr. Something in his maps that we've collected over the years. Maybe there's a teleportation circle, but I don't know of any myself. I was still quite young when I left Nelethyr.
Don't suppose there's any way we could hide the ship.
Probably not. Unless we don't go to a dock, but the shores are watched quite often, and
Meant
forest.
more while we're flying over.
we have the ability to cloak underneath, but that's not going to help us if a dragon flies overhead or...
I remember Treya at one point was able to turn into some form of dragon. You think maybe she could have advanced beyond that now at this point and do something that can fly as a dragon, and we could attempt to make it seem as though we are being escorted by one of their dragon riders?
It's something I could talk to her about and see if she's up for it.
It's worth a shot, I suppose.
I mean, it wouldn't have to be the whole time, just it seemed like if somebody spotted us, she could
Right.
sort of duck around the other side of the ship and make it look like she'd been there the whole time.
We can
It's
always try
possible.
and keep as high as possible. They can't see the underside. They'll have no reason to investigate.
If you're all sure that this is worth the risk.
You deserve to know. So's the rest of your family. He's here and he ain't told them. I think we all kind of want to know why.
Yeah. Alright. I guess I will let Arthur know to change our course. And I will speak with Treya. Thank you.
Of course. I mean, y'all came with me. Of course.
Thank you. Oh, Indira, thank you for the pep talk earlier.
Oh, you're welcome. That was you. We ain't got a stray cat.
Not that I know of. That could change. Maybe we need to get Zephania a cat.
Why?
If something about your mindscape contained a lot of cats.
That's true. There was a real big one. It wasn't real friendly, but it's pretty.
The more you guys talk about this, the more I really think it was just a shared dream between you three.
I genuinely wish that you could remember because my god, so
I really
much
wish
happened.
it was.
There's not even that big of cats around here.
I
Or anywhere.
don't think it was. There were a lot of things that weren't regular, but you got quite the imagination. Let's just put it that way.
I guess.
But I agree. We should have a ship's cat.
It would take care of the rats.
We got rats?
Every ship has rats.
Oh. I suppose that makes sense. Doggy!
If we are in the sky and we have rats, would that be bats?
No, pigeons.
Ah, sky rats.
Oh,
Sky rats.
worse. That's even worse.
Chicagoans are like, no.
Oh god, no. Alright, well.
They're-
Oh god.
I actually
take
like
care of
the
my
pigeons,
dickies.
but sky rat is what they get called around here. So
Yes.
I had a neighbor that once fed pigeons, and we had like
Oh,
40
dear.
pigeons living on my roof. I despise them.
yeah, that's
no.
not good.
Well, I guess after a minute, Gaiju will dismiss himself to go speak with Arthur and Treya.
Okay.
Ugh.
But I can wait if we need to do some Dahlia prayer time.
It's up to you guys.
I don't think it should be anything special. She's just a little scared of Alasta, so she's like, fuck. So she just ran off.
Zephinia's going to go down and see Cindy to see if she can do some modifications on her wings and make it be able that she can fly maybe more than once.
So I will illustrate something for you if maybe I haven't been clear. Once you got this form, your wings don't disengage.
Oh.
They are now part of you.
Well, that's exciting.
Yep.
I can fly.
Yay, flight!
Yeah, they are.
All the time.
They're both evenly healed, full, as are
Oh.
wings.
Okay.
But you can't disengage them. They're always out.
Did like the little metallic thing she had on there kind of?
I mean, you can still put them on if you want to change the color, but yeah.
I got bling.
I mean, you can even make armor for your wings if you wanted to. There's paladin armor for wings and stuff like that.
I'm gonna go see Cindy.
Okay.
Totally different reason, but
As you make your way over to her area, currently right now it looks like she's actually, for the first time that you've seen, she's actually working on something more something small. In fact, the way that she's turned towards the door, it's not like she's hiding it, but it's so small you can't actually see. Normally she specializes in large, robust things, bigger swords, bigger guns. items for wings, etc. Things that are going to stand out. But whatever she's working on right now, you actually see like some sparks flying. It's a little bit of arcane energy work. You can even see like these tubes actually go into something. She's like building something small that she can cover her body with. But again, she's not intentionally hiding it. She's just doing so she doesn't notice you're there. She's got her goggles on and everything.
I'm gonna kind of clear my throat.
Doesn't she like looks for a second, doesn't notice anything, she goes back into it.
Hi.
Oh, sorry. I immediately puts down like this big, huge like generator tool down and turns it off and lifts up as you kind of like see her face is like all chalked up and stuff like that. And now she's just got raccoon eyes and she maybe walks over to you. Sorry about that. Been working on a little bit of a project for you. Well, what can I do for you?
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, no, it's fine. Sorry, it's been a long day.
What are you working on? The project seems... Sorry. The project seems a lot smaller than you're
Nothing to sneeze.
usually working on.
Oh, I mean, it's something different. Actually, it's something for Silic. He wanted something built, and he asked me about it. I was kind of intrigued. I'd never made something so small that had something like this, so decided to give him a shot. He's kind of my beta tester for it, if you know what I mean. I've never made something like this before, so yeah, try it on him, and if it explodes on him, then oh well.
Oh, okay. Maybe you should try and maybe not test it out on him.
He still was fine.
I'm pretty sure Dahlia would be upset by that.
So who should I test it on? I mean, I used to test it on Arthur, but apparently can't do that anymore.
Oh no! Don't do that to Arthur. No. You what? Why don't we think on this, or maybe you can build something like a mechanical robot. Those are a thing. You can try it out on those, right?
Yeah. Robots are hard to. I can make a shell, but making an actual automaton is quite difficult. I don't know the
And a
mechanics of
shell
making an
would
automaton.
work perfect.
All right.
I know you could do this.
It's not as amusing, but I'll think about it. Nonetheless, what can I do for you?
Well, I really appreciate the project that you did for me a while ago, and they're fixed. And I
see that. Yeah,
had my wings.
That's another question. You know, I didn't want to say anything, but it's all. I'm gonna just say it. You look different. Was that on purpose, or is this like some kind of like thing that went wrong, or
a thing that went wrong? I went through a few changes, but nothing big.
Okay.
But I was wondering, now that I'm whole again, if you can help me protect them.
The wings.
Yes.
Okay. As she's kind of like looking at like the kind of like scanning them out and kind of like taking like measurements through it. So you want armor for your wings?
I would really appreciate it.
Okay. All right. How much weight do you think you can handle?
It's a really good question. How much weight does
So
it usually
a normal Azamar actually can hold a decent amount of weight on their wings, but so think of it like this: like the amount of strength that the wings can carry as a person added to your own weight. So if you decide to put one person's worth of weight on the wings, you can't carry anybody else if you flew.
So if I did light armor, I might be able to carry someone smaller?
So if based on your strength right now, you could without putting any armor on, you could technically carry a person while you flew. If you put all the weight on your body, on your wings, and do like heavy armor for your wings, you'd have to focus all your strength into your wings. Therefore, it'd be very difficult to carry somebody. Maybe a smaller person. So it's kind of like if you want to do light armor on the wings, you could basically it'd be like adding a shield and separating. Like each wing gets an extra AC. And depending on where you want to go from there. If you want to go higher, you could. She can actually make you something as complex as heavy armor for your wings. That's an extension of your own armor. So it'd be essentially 2 AC per wing. So an additional 4 AC. And they would operate very much as a shield while you're on the ground. So you could, very much like what we did for Alair Valerian in Campaign 1, where you could actually have your cape that turn into wings and they could become a shield. Very similar to that, where you could actually block yourself with like wings and stuff like that.
Okay. Well,
It depends on how heavy you want to go.
I was thinking something a little bit heavier, and that would protect me and maybe help me shield my team.
Okay, all right. Yeah. She like quick like takes out like a tape and she like measures real quick and she kind of does a little bit of. She goes around. Okay. Do you need this by a certain time?
I mean, sooner rather than later, but I'm not gonna rush you. Take your time with it.
Well, it's apparently very secret on here. It'd be good to know where we're going, so I know if I can hit some shops up to get some materials. I don't really have a lot of materials here that I could do to make it in a rush job. But if I could hit a shop and I knew where we were going, I could know where to go and get some materials.
Well, we are currently going over Nelethyr, which I honestly don't know if we'll be able to stop or not.
Okay.
I think we'll be docking anytime very soon.
Okay. Well, I have materials here. It's gonna have to be scrounging up parts and pieces, so it's gonna take me a little bit longer then. If you don't mind waiting, I can make something, but it's gonna take me a little bit longer.
I can wait for them.
Okay. I'll just take some of my older pieces, forge them down, and use those for materials. Yeah, I can put something together, but she's kind of like quick takes the lay of the land of like the weapons that she needs to sell, like she doesn't need anymore, and she kind of goes through and you can kind of see that she's gonna eventually planning this melt down a sword that she had and looks like a couple guns and stuff that she's going through like her box of like failed forged weapons. It's like I can melt that down. That one's a little rusted out. Maybe a month, depending on the curve of difficulty of making them for your wings. But yeah, something like that. I could probably have it done by.
That should work.
Okay.
She's kind of a little disappointed it's going to take that long, but
sorry. I mean, like I just don't have materials on board, and I can take what I got, which is fine, but it will have to get me to strip them down from parts, remelt them down, replace them, reforge them, and repeat. It's a process, and I mean, if we're able to find a stop where I could buy material or do what we did over in Terok, where I was able to borrow a forge that had better equipment, maybe that could speed up the process.
I'll see what I can do and I'll keep you informed.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. I'll start working up some schematics. I'm just gonna finish up Silic's little gizmo, and then I'll start working on schematics for you.
Thank you. And yeah. I'm gonna turn and head upstairs, and once I'm out of eyesight of her, I am going to very fast walk over to Dahlia and panic, tell her to let Silic know not to try whatever Cindy's making on.
Okay.
I imagine she's on the deck in like a meditation pose, literally just doing a prayer. Ziphinia just comes up out of nowhere.
Your face. Don't let Silic try on anything Cindy makes. Just tell him.
What the fuck? What are you talking about?
I went down to visit Cindy. She's making something for Silic. She said she doesn't know if it's gonna explode or not, but he can handle it. I would warn him.
What does she make? What is she making?
I'm not sure. It's smaller than what she usually
Did you
makes.
see it?
Kind of. You've been in Cindy's shop, right? It's a little overwhelming.
I haven't gone in a while for that reason. I mean, is it like something personal that like you feel like I should tell him as like his sister?
You
or-
couldn't make heads or tails of what it would look like.
I have no idea what it was. It's one of her creations, but knowing her creations, it's either gonna work great or in disaster.
I will mention it to him. Yeah.
Yeah, just. Okay, that.
Oh,
continue
okay.
And I'm sorry. And then I'm gonna head out.
Is everything okay?
All good. Just wanted to make sure that you told him. He knew. We're good.
Okay.
Don't put on the Cindy armor or whatever it was.
Don't put on Cindy's armor. Okay. Little exploding things. Just tries to go back to finish her prayer.
It's like, damn it, I can't do it now.
It's ruined.
I'd say at this point, some hours have passed. We're going to later afternoon.
I was going to go speak to Arthur.
Okay. All right.
I'll, kind of let him know that we're changing our course and going to the more northern side of Nelethyr. And I suppose either to speak with the rest of the crew or eventually arrange some kind of meeting where I can address the crew in regards to if we end up docking somewhere or something, like not mentioning me.
Okay. Arthur's gonna be like, all right, that's all good and all. So we were going south. Now you want to go north. Which port do you want to? All right, where do you want to go?
I need to go to Carthus.
Okay. All right.
I don't know if we'll actually be docking, though.
Okay. He immediately takes out like a map, puts it on a table, and immediately starts navigating and using his tools. All right. That's not too far off the beaten path. You do know we need to go over the Soaring Isles, right? Okay.
Unfortunately, yes.
All right. I mean, if that's what you want, yeah, it's cool. I can definitely get us there. We immediately just kind of.
Zarmir mentioned meet him at the Soaring Isle.
It's actually the main bar that's within Carthus. It's actually
Okay.
It's actually like a themed bar, kind of like that.
Okay.
Yep.
That makes more sense. I was just like, wait a minute.
So the
Margaritaville of Nelethyr.
to claim to be just kind of open here. This island here, along with these smaller patches here, are called the Soaring Isles themselves. The main patch itself is the main military part of Nelethyr. The Carthus itself is the capital of Nelethyr, but is not actually where the kingdom is. Because of it is a major tourist attraction. Therefore, many things are kind of themed around there. So the bar that he wants to meet you at is actually just called the Soaring Isle, kind of like that.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay. Yes, I'm aware that we'll need to go over the Soaring Isle. Right now, the plan is fly as high as we can, with the shield activated beneath us, and I'm going to speak to Treya about possibly being some kind of dragon guardian if we need the help to get past the military.
Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. He immediately like plots on a course, and he immediately starts letting everybody know. All right, we are no longer going to you guys. It'd be going, due south. He's like, all right, we're now going to be heading west from our direction. We're gonna take it up. As he immediately tells, like, all right, start activating fire. Let's get some of the magical sails activated, and immediately starts slowing and climbing a little bit, so you guys are kind of parallel with the clouds.
I guess after that I need to go speak with Treya.
Okay. Treya right now is down over in. She's over in. Where the fuck am I blanking? Let me pull up the map. She is in the mess hall.
Okay. I suppose after looking for a little while, I would probably find her in there.
Yep.
Ah, there you are.
Currently, she is reading a book about cops, and trying to make heads and stuff. She's like, "Hey, hi. Sorry, it's not the read I expected, but hi."
I don't blame you there. Are you doing all right?
I'm okay. It's been a little weird, and I'll be honest, no offense. Ship's kind of getting a little, feeling a little confined. But
Listenable.
got a good book, kinda. And how are you?
I'm managing with captain duties and the impending stress of the world.
Okay.
Speaking of cramped, we are on our way to Nelethyr, as you probably have already heard. We need to go over the Soaring Isles, which happens to have a bunch of dragon riders that
Ooh, cool.
watches over it, so to speak.
Sweet.
How would you feel about being a dragon guardian for the ship as we fly over, just in case anybody gets any ideas about approaching us?
I could try. I mean, I did the dragon a couple times. It wasn't big, but I could do. I could try. I haven't had enough practice with it, but I can stay pretty close to the ship. I can definitely say. Wait, are you planning for me to go into combat?
No,
Okay.
I certainly hope not. I'm praying that it would be more of a deterrent to leave us alone.
Okay.
I would in no way ask you to put yourself in danger.
Oh,
for
that's
the
good.
ship.
Because I don't know if I could fly as a dragon and fight as a dragon at the same time. That'd be kind of complicated. Okay,
I think Ren, wherever they are, would probably beat my ass if I asked you to fight for my ship.
Oh, yeah,
So-
probably. Shoot, they're very protective. Okay, yeah. Okay, when do you need me to do this?
Over the next day or two.
Okay,
All
right.
I'm more so hoping that it will be only as needed. However, if you wish to spread your wings as sorts, you are welcome to.
Yeah, that might not
just-
be a bad idea. I might need to practice.
Just
Okay.
don't go tiring yourself out too much.
No.
Take your break.
It'll be all right. I mean, as long as I get my rest, I should be fine. I will have to really. Okay. Yeah, I can't say that it will be like a large dragon. I can probably give you maybe a I could try to do an adult dragon. But
That's probably more than fine.
okay. All right. She closed up the book. Okay.
Speaking, though, of Nelethyr, if you wish to come down with us when we do land, or when we go down, you are welcome to join us.
She immediately kind of gets all giddy. He's like, "Do you mean it?
Of course.
Oh, okay.
However, there are some things that I need to warn you of.
Okay.
The Nelethyrians are... How do I put this? Rather judgmental of anyone who is not a full-blooded elf, and that will apply to our entire party. All I say is, don't completely expect to be welcome.
Alright.
And that's not to get your hopes down, because I do hope you enjoy Nelethyr. It is a wonderful place.
Well, don't be surprised if maybe it gets a little bit to me and I just turn into a bird or something like that.
Fine by me.
Alright. Well, let me go stretch, try to figure this out, and I'll do some practice runs as she starts making her way out.
Don't run yourself ragged.
Okay. She starts heading her way over to the main deck and starts kind of like doing her own version of stretches before she tries to do like a new druid shape as she kind of like does some twists, and she tries to get in the motion of like how a dragon moves. Like she kind of like starts like stretching out her wings and stuff like that. She starts to kind of figure out the right movement. But she doesn't really turn for a couple hours until it gets like dark enough, and then she just kind of, we'll get there when we get there. Anything else before nightfall?
I have a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I'll probably wander up as Trey is leaving. Do I notice that we're changing course?
Well, if you're on the main deck, you would have heard the actual command from Arthur to actually switch course to west instead of south.
Okay, cool. I'll wander up to guide you and be like, we're changing course?
Yes. You kind of left for your prayer before we really got to that part.
Uh-oh, did I miss something important?
You could say that. It seems that just before Gladolin arrived this morning, I found out my father is alive.
How did you do that?
A little bit of peeking at the sword, a little bit of new abilities.
So it was Zio.
I don't know what you mean. Possibly.
Okay. Okay, so we're gonna go see him? He's not dead, and he's talking to you, so that's a good thing, right?
I don't know yet. So, I guess we're going to find out.
We have a plan for getting there, or is this gonna be one of those, we'll make it up as we go?
Bit of both.
It's on brand for us. Well, this is good, right? She'll, like, put a hand on his shoulder.
I hope so.
I'm sure it will answer a lot of questions for you.
Yeah.
And hopefully be a good thing. You deserve a break.
A break with Gladolin showing up.
He's... Don't worry about him. I mean, you were there. She will wring his ass. You know, we could... Do you need a break now?
Let me take care of a few more things on deck. Then maybe afterwards.
Well, Babu, okay.
Pop up.
You just shot in here.
Oh.
Okay. Well, just come find me when you're done.
Oh well.
Sure. By the way, unless he has something else to say.
Not to her. He was just gonna go take care of some things on the deck, make sure things are in order. He's gonna look a little frantic while doing it, but he's on edge. But that'll be the morning/afternoon.
Okay. Anything anybody else wants to do for the rest of the day?
The same.
When nightfall comes, mostly Treya just eventually just decides to go just jump in the air, and then she falls like about 30 feet until she finally transforms into a dragon. And you can tell that it's like not perfect. She's like kind of like not in full druid form fully, and she's trying to figure out if she flies. And it takes her like about 20 minutes before she finally gets it. And she flies about an hour until she stops, and then decides to try it out another time. As a clear night is ahead of you, no major winds, no major obstacles to add another day to the journey, you are basically left with one more day before you should essentially find your way above Karthus without landing there. If everybody wants to
Do we have the...
Hmm?
Oh, okay. I was going to say, do we have the evening to roam?
You have the evening.
Does anyone else want to do anything before I do something silly?
Dira's going to do her usual sit up on the bow for a bit and kind of say goodnight to the moon and the stars. And have an idea. I'm kind of a little afraid to go down to Cynthi's shop now, but
do it.
As you should be afraid.
Get the tea on this little
anytime, but she's focusing on something. But no, my thought is I want to go down, and I don't know if she's there. If she's not there, I don't want to disturb anything, but I know she said that I can come in and work on stuff sometimes. But Dira is taking it into her head that if she's thinking that Cacobial should be something else, should be pure, then so should her symbol. And the blue-purple wings on her holy symbol, she's going to try to get to be like a pure silver.
Okay.
That's just an image that popped into her head. And she's going to try and make that happen. I don't know is Cindy around?
Yeah, Cindy is in there. Currently right now she's still doing the same thing that she was doing before, which is still kind of like working on, you just see like all these sparks and arcane lights flaring off as you go in there.
Oh, hi. I didn't want to disturb you.
Oh, no, it's okay. Hi.
I hopefully I can just tuck myself off in a corner. I kind of explained to her what I want to do, and I think that's something we can do in here.
To imply, DM to player, you want a new breastplate with the symbol on it, or just a new?
No. Just my holy symbol, the amulet. I just want the wings to be silver instead of the purple that they are now.
Yeah, I mean, I can do that. That's no problem. Yeah, I mean, 2 days max.
I think I'd kind of like to do it if you can show me.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. And she just kind of opens up the door for you to come on her side. She's like, I'm almost done anyway, so you can have your way with the, going around and figuring out what you want to do. And she kind of just like opens up like a spot, because it's a very small quarter, so she kind of has like, here's like the drop down spot for this, and she kind of like shows you around of like where all the different things are. If you want to forge around with it, change the colors around, she kind of like shows you off where you can actually shave it off, and you can actually do different kind of liquids on it to actually rub off the actual coloring and change it. I was actually about to stop, unless you need me to be here. I trust you in my area.
If you don't mind.
No,
if you
you're
don't
good.
mind, that's great. What is that you're working on anyway?
Oh,
it looks pretty fancy.
Oh, it's nothing yet. Vasilic wanted something specific for a singular glove. I don't know why just one, but he just wanted one, and it's not anywhere yet, but it's getting there. It's definitely a first of a kind for me, but willing to try it out. Your friend said I shouldn't try it on him, but
Yeah, I think probably trying things the first time maybe shouldn't be on people, but that's just
if
my
he
opinion.
if he wants to be a test dummy, that's his own thing.
I guess if I guess if he knows what he's getting into. But anyway, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, so she just kind of like turns off some of like she cranks down a lever and she turns off like this big handle. As you can see, like what looks like this 3-tube system of like this arcane liquid just kind of like stops bubbling around and turns it off and unplugs a hose, and she puts it like in a box and she's like, I'll just continue this tomorrow. I need to get some sleep. It's been a long day, but you take as much time as you want. Good night.
Good night. All right. Well, so you said she put away the project.
I
wasn't going to touch anything, but I was going to kind of peer at it and see what I could
so she
see.
didn't close it up. She just put it like in a box so it wouldn't slide around in case like the ship kind of tips or anything like that. And then the tools are still left out. She just put them on the side so they weren't in your way.
All right. So yeah, I am going to focus on my project, but also kind of incidentally, perhaps on my way out, going to peer into the box and try and get an idea of what this thing looks like.
You can give me either perception or investigation check on it.
Oh, that should be fine. Got a perception of which is a flat roll of a 19.
19. Right now, if she didn't say it was a glove, it does not look like it. It looks like she's mostly individually making the pieces before she fuses together, as she's trying to individually build these kind of arcane different pieces to put together. Based off first glance, this looks like something that would maybe go for maybe a warlock more than a general fighter. But it is nowhere near done yet.
All right. No, and that's just curiosity. I'm not going to touch it or anything.
No,
I will focus on my project.
Sure.
I want to try and get that done.
Okay. All right. And I will say Silik right now is actually on the bow spirit right now, and he's meditating on it.
Silik's where?
On the bow spirit.
Okay.
The nose of the ship.
Okay. Anybody else?
I mean, I suppose once Gaju's done running around like a lunatic, he'll go and find her.
Excellent, because she's looking for him.
That's per usual.
Always. She'll be wandering around like the middle of the deck. It's very obvious she's looking for somebody though.
Okay.
Right.
Say Hades is off the back of the ship, legs hanging off, just kind of sitting there.
Oh shit! I need the back of the ship.
I mean, the side of the ship. He's in the side of the ship.
I mean, if he's back there, she's just gonna be like, "Hey, I borrowed this place for like a few hours."
Yeah, of course. Sorry, I wasn't really thinking anybody needed to be back here. So
No, it's a thing. I'm just
you're fine. No, you're fine. You're fine.
planning a little date, like
let's
trying to lift some spirits.
you guys need that. That's all right. And he'll kind of turn and walk towards the front of the ship.
Do you know where we left the candles? I can't find them in the kitchen.
Sorry, no, I'm not sure where they're at right now. Sorry.
Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Insight check.
Oh, I think you're gonna win this.
22.
Oh yeah, you beat my ass. He seems very lost in thought and kind of sad.
Is it Apollo or something else? Is it that cop boat Trey was talking about earlier?
No, it wasn't that, and it relates to Apollo. Yeah.
Do you need to talk about that?
It's not pressing, and you have things to set up for you and Kaiju. It's all right. I'll be all right.
Yeah, but if there's anything I can do to help, maybe it'll help just to talk to somebody about it even a little bit.
I'll make you a deal. Come see me tomorrow after everything. I don't want to put a damper on the evening.
You sure?
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be alright.
Okay. Promise?
Sure, yes. He mage hands Pinky. Like, doesn't get close, he just mage hands and the Pinky grabs around.
That's cheating, but I accept it.
I'll deal with it. And he'll walk away.
Okay, and then I feel bad for kicking him out of his spot now. He's having sad boy hours. Now he has to go have him at the side of the ship.
God, Dahlia.
I was just trying to do something nice! God damn it! Alrighty, so 30 minutes of... If you're out on the deck, you will see Dahlia running around, carrying various items of different things. And then about 30 minutes later, she starts actively looking for something else.
Okay.
Dahlia?
I was looking for you. Are you finished with your things?
Sure. Yes.
Alright. Okay, come this way.
Okay.
She's gonna lead him, like, to the back of the ship, and it's dark back there. But then when they round the corner, she'll snap her fingers, and the candles will light up with little dancing lights on the top of them. And it's this cute little... it's set up in because the emergency boats are what are back there, so it's like a little charcuterie dinner thing set up in the boat with, like, blankets and pillows and candles and, like, little snacks and teas and stuff. And she's like, well, I don't suppose we're going to be able to have any sort of date night in Nelethyr, so figured maybe we could have one here.
You outdid yourself, doll.
Well,
Very nice.
I figured you needed a break, and we need a break.
That's for sure. Do you need help up in there?
I can manage, and she struggles a little bit. I carried all of these things in here, and definitely knocked a few things over, but it's okay, it wasn't food, and it's okay, I also have mending, so just don't look. There's a tear in that pillow, but I'll fix it later. So, okay, I didn't know what exactly you wanted for dinner, so I just got a little bit of everything. There's, like, you know, some cheeses and some meats here. There's, like, little finger sandwiches. What's his name? The chef guy? Tobior?
I always gotta remember how to pronounce his name.
That guy.
I'm such a great captain. I know my people.
I know my people.
I know my people.
I asked Tobold to make something, to make some of these little sandwiches, and he made these, and I haven't tried them yet, but they look okay. And then, there's this wine here, but then I didn't know if you, like, wanted champagne, but then I've also figured you probably wanted some tea, so I brought some tea as well. I didn't know if you wanted, like, chamomile, or green tea, or black tea, or, rose tea, so I just got a little bit of everything, and then you can try some and maybe even mix them if you want.
Let's start.
Thank you for the music,
with a
Joe.
little bit
You're welcome.
of... Oh, my music isn't playing. Fuck.
Oh, I don't know what that means.
This is fine. It's probably the internet being stupid, as always. We'll try a little bit of rose for a start. Who knows, maybe for once I'm filling up to it. A very small amount of wine. I'm still a little traumatized from that one.
It's been 10 years!
Listen, that was not my greatest moment, and I'm not overly fond of the fact that I threw up everywhere and passed out in front of you, and then later mooned you before we were starting dating.
That was an amazing first impression. I will never
Listen,
forget it.
I know you enjoy the view, but that was still embarrassing as hell.
I certainly loved it. She pours him some tea.
Thank you. So,
So
I did need this.
I figured when you were frantically running around trying to give out orders and stuff. But I don't know what exactly is going to happen in Nelethyr, and I know that you are probably much more stressed about it than I am, but you know we're here for you, and I'm here for you.
I know you.
And we'll make the most of it, whatever it is, and if anyone tries to kill you, we'll just kill them.
I don't doubt it.
With your permission, of course.
Like I could stop you guys.
Well, I just know that it's going to be a bit of... She starts, like, playing with her cup. It's going to be scary for, I'm sure, you and us too, and I don't know what exactly we're going into. I've never been here before, and you have some wonderful stories, and then you have some stories that scare me. So just prepared for the worst, hoping for the best.
I understand. Nelethyr is a beautiful place. And it can have beautiful people, but like every kingdom out there, there are those who maybe shouldn't have power or ruin it for the rest. And despite all of my bad memories with Nelethyr and even a little bit of my own anxieties, I am excited to go home, to see it again, to see how the last 18 years has changed it. I look forward to showing you and the others around it, to hopefully be able to show you where I grew up, and have you meet my mother. And I mean, you already met my sister, and that was a whole thing.
Things are a little different then too, but hopefully better circumstances, and I do want to see your home and your family. I know you do too. I'm excited for you.
The truth is, in life there is a lot of things that we cannot control, and I think what we can is who we keep around. I didn't think 10 years ago that I would meet such a fantastic group, that I would grow to call everyone my friends, let alone my own family. But you all are here, and I don't think I could ever give that up. I have a lot of memories, and I look forward to a great many more. And what I know is I'm not ready to give up any of that anytime soon. You're not going to see me give in while we are in Nelethyr. I'm going to keep you all safe, and because I know you will be watching me like a hawk the entire time, I will be doing my best to keep myself alive, because frankly, sometimes you scare me when you're pissed at me.
Good.
But the truth of the matter is, I want to spend as much of whatever the amount of the rest of my life with you, with the others. And Originally, I thought I was going to do this in a far more romantic way. But, he'll kind of reach into his pocket, and he's gonna shift and get on one knee. Dahlia Apollon, I love you, and I've always loved you. I would like to continue to love you as long as I can. Will you marry me?
Oh, shit. It was so good. She was not expecting that. I mean, she was. It's been 10 years, but she was not expecting it now. You see this just big old smile across her face, and her eyes tear up a little bit, and she says, Kaiju Akash Thramik, I've never wanted anything more in my life than to spend it with you. Yeah. I will.
He'll slide the ring on.
Perfect, and then she's gonna tackle him into a hug. This girl's been waiting a long time for this.
Tackle hug.
They're tieflings. They live a long ass time. 10 years is a blink of an eye. What are you talking about?
She's had a crush on this man since like day 3, so.
It's like day 2, but
That
fair
tail,
enough.
yo.
Who's counting? Definitely not me.
But well, just take it as a slow evening and enjoy this bit of calm before the storm.
They do. And the sandwiches are fire. Topol kills it.
I see you rolling dice over there.
What does that mean?
It's fine.
Right
Is it
after the
though?
calm before the storm.
Dragons. Dragons.
You're the one who mentioned the calm before the
I
storm.
did. A claw on the monkey's paw curls.
And a blue dragon appears.
Oh god.
No! Not a blue one.
I don't know. That's all I've got.
Okay. Alright.
They have a wonderful date, and we don't talk about what happens after. Not on stream.
Ow, ow.
Alright. Well, as the night comes to a fold, everybody has their own kind of rest, and with a day ahead and a beautiful way to end the night, everybody can hit a long rest button. Waking up into a morning of a clear day, proper sailing, with only a day left to get to Nelethyr. But we'll end it there. On a good, happy note. No cliffhanger.
We like that note.
Yep.
Yeah.
We love a happy note.
I do love to like slow play it though. Whenever I tell you guys you can take a long rest, be like, I wonder if they think I'm gonna fuck with them.
Always.
Well, because you
You're the
often
DM.
do.
Okay. So with that beautiful ending, we'll end it there. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you for the raid. Don't forget tomorrow's Star Wars. Thursday is Echoes. So check out the following 2 streams, still same time, 6:30 p.m. Central. And yeah, that's it for the night. Everyone have a fantastic night, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.